All right, our correspondent Akshay is joining us to get us more. Akshay, good morning. Now, we've just given a gist of Prime Minister's day there and important engagements he had with the Singaporean leadership. You put into perspective for us, how far will it further strengthen the relationship between the two countries, given the priorities of the present times?
Well, thank you so much, Preeti. In fact, we are looking at an unprecedented level of engagement at the government level between India and Singapore. In fact, with the fifth visit of Prime Minister Narendra Modi to Singapore ever since he took office in 2014, the levels between the two countries have only grown. The relationship has strengthened, and we are looking at an unprecedented level of push as far as the government of India is concerned, be it the establishment of India-Singapore Ministerial Roundtable that involves External Affairs Minister, the Finance Minister, Commerce Minister, and other leaders to regularly engage with the leadership of Singapore. In fact, there are 4 ministers from India and 6 ministers from Singapore that are going to be part of this intergovernmental ministerial roundtable, and it is going to be a mechanism to ensure that all the agreements and the memorandums of understandings that are being signed between the two countries to be worked upon in a time-bound manner, establishment of a roadmap of how implementation of these plans are to be done. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi himself personally has taken a lot of interest in the semiconductor industry, especially in Singapore, given the fact that Singapore has been one of the leaders in the semiconductor technology. In fact, the country has about 56 years of experience, in fact, as far as the semiconductor technology is concerned, and that is what India is eyeing at right now to in fact replicate a similar kind of growth story for India's semiconductor industry. In fact, investment is expected to flow more into India in several domains where the MOUs have been signed, be it pharmaceuticals, healthcare, there is connectivity, digitization, quantum computing, advanced manufacturing of semiconductors, aviation technology. So all of this has to be done in a time-bound manner according to a roadmap that has been laid out. Smart city projects that are being carried out in India also has a lot to learn. They have a lot to learn, in fact, from Singapore, and the way they have implicated they have implemented rather all of these projects in the city state. So we are looking at regular interaction between the leadership of India and Singapore. Prime Minister himself supervising the kind of growth that takes place between the two countries, and India's Act East policy clearly working on the ground here, especially in the ASEAN region, of bringing the two regions together. So Singapore, a maritime power, especially in the Southeast Asia region, and India being a maritime power in the Indian Ocean region have a lot of similarities in terms of challenges and the opportunities, in fact, that the two countries can explore together. So the direct engagement at the prime ministerial level is absolutely interesting to see, and especially it is being followed up by the business leaders both in India and Singapore. And Singapore, that was the largest source of India's foreign direct investment in the last financial year, is expected to retain that spot with the kind of engagements that are taking place in various domains of businesses. Back to you, Preeti.
All right, Akshay, I would also want you to evaluate the visit of the Prime Minister, given the fact that you also told us that Singapore is the highest, in terms of FDI, Singapore is the highest contributor. Added to that, 4 MOUs have also been signed with regard to the priorities in the given times for the world to see. Having said that, to what extent can Singapore be a key, perform a key role in India's growth story, in India's aspirations, which the Prime Minister has been very vocal about? Added to that, we've also seen how the relationship between the two countries has been enhanced to the comprehensive strategic partnership. Put all this together, how promising is this relationship, and what kind of role can Singapore play in India's growth story?
Well, Preeti, it's actually a mutually beneficial relationship between India and Singapore. And while we see Singapore as a pioneering country in terms of technology, in terms of advanced manufacturing facilities that are here, it has a lot to gain from India as well, while India has a lot to gain from Singapore. So, as far as Singapore's expectation from India is a political stable country that has a lot of potential in terms of skilled labor force, in terms of manufacturing capabilities, natural resources, and ability to in fact be quite beneficial for Singapore in the long run, given the fact that India has been the fastest growing major economy in the world. Singapore does realize that India in the next few decades is going to be one of the largest economy in the world, as it already is. In fact, India being the 5th largest economy, Singapore has a lot of interest in the Indian businesses, in investing in India and in investing in India's growth story. So that is beneficial for Singapore. When it comes to India, India has a lot to learn in terms of smart city technologies, smart city how they function, seamlessly integration of all the aspects of a country and of a city to be functioning as one. Then there is advanced manufacturing that India actually is looking at right now in terms of manufacturing capabilities. It has been inviting businesses with the rapidly changing business models in India and pro-business policies that have been implemented in the country. And when it comes to defense ties, like you have rightly mentioned, that India and Singapore are now strategic allies as well. And they have signed all of these agreements of comprehensive strategic partnership. So both the countries have a lot to gain from each other, but we should not just see it in a way that India is going to gain from this relationship. It is also Singapore that has a lot to gain in long term from India. India being one of the most important hub that is emerging as a manufacturing hub, especially with Make in India kind of initiatives that have been launched. So yes, it is going to be a quid pro quo kind of a situation here, where both the countries will be learning from each other, will be gaining from each other, and it is going to be both the growth story of Singapore and of India that will be contributed by each other. Back to you.
All right, Akshay, thank you for joining in with those inputs from